own mouth.
Cutting the long story short, there's a group of persons in Nigeria here. There are pastors in that group. There are other politicians in that group that they are using these innocent children for ritual powers. You know, it is not every ritual that they kill somebody. There are some rituals that they don't kill. So the ones that they are using on these young children in acquiring their powers is taking their glory. That is the young children that their glory, their star, their future is bright. They adopt those children. They have powers that it identifies such children wherever they are and do the adoption. So they keep these children in their own custody, provide everything that they can provide for the child. They don't kill the child. Do their ritual that they have already done on the child, and they are taking care of the child. As long as the child is living, that is how they are glory. And then again, the life now that they are living, the life they are living is the life of that child. That means, for example, if testimony was to live 100 years, therefore these people, the person who has taken the star of that child or the glory of that child will live that 100 years, even though he's an old person already. So when they take these children now, they distribute them. Some are in Ghana, some are in like this. They have their agents that they are keeping these children. And one of the conditions is that you can't use your own blood. You can't use your family. Because your family now, I will be on it. Questions will come out. So when they adopt these children now, they keep them wherever they are keeping, and they are taking care of the children, which they are already under a spell. And that spell is working on them while they are now using the powers and doing whatever thing they are doing. That is why you see in Nigeria, let's take, for example, this testimony issue. It is so bad, but even the government is not saying anything because some of the government officials are inside the same business. Do anything. They won't do anything because it is their own fellow member who has been. I hope you all understand me, Prof. X. I'm just cutting the long story short, though.
What you're saying makes a lot of sense. Because if you look at these politicians and these pastors, they barely die. They live for a very long time.
I'm working with them. Not that I was working with them. I'm working. Why I came back from where I am working is because of this testimony, something that I came out. I only took my excuse. They know to come to see my family. They used to give us permission to come out. So my own permission I took that I'm coming to see my family because I'm a father of 3. So those of us that we already have family, we have wife and children, they always give us permission so that we can come and see our family. But my intention was not coming to see my family. My intention was to come out and talk about this testimony, something that we are talking now like this. That's why I was demanding to talk with the mother so that I will tell her what I know. It is also risky for me, very, very risky.
I know.
We took an oath. The time that I decided that I would do this thing that I'm doing now, I started communicating with one man of God that he should be praying for me because the oath that we took, that we will not betray anything that we see or anything we hear. But right now I'm doing it because I believe that God cannot allow something to happen to me when I know that I'm speaking the truth. When I know that I'm talking on behalf of a child, which I also have a child in my house. I suffer to take care of them. What about another person's child? And I know the truth. Will God not punish me? It's better I don't know. If I know, fine. Or if I don't have the means to talk, fine. But now I have the means to talk, and I know that if I don't do it, what about my own child? What if it happens to my child tomorrow? Who will I blame? I'll start blaming myself because I knew of somebody's own. I didn't say anything. That is why I'm doing this thing. It's not for money. I don't want somebody's money. Somebody should not think that I'm doing it for ransom. No, I don't anything. I will take my risks as far as this child comes out so that other children will be free. There are children that I don't know them. I've not heard their story, but I've heard testimony on. It is testimony story now that will save all these other children and expose these people. They have divided them because if they keep them on one place, they will suspect. People will begin to talk. So they divide them. They have their agents, women and men, that they carry. When they finish the ritual, they will give the children to them, make them rich, so that they will be taking care of the child the way they're supposed to be taking care. But that child does not have any future. The child does not have any life, nothing. If you look at testimony picture that I sent to you, look at the way they are taking good care of him. Because he is an empty vessel. They are doing all those care that they are taking care of him now is empty. If something is not being done to destroy the charm or the spell over him, or the ritual over him, he is empty. And they do it like that. It's not. They do it like that continuously. I am working there. I am working. I see them. They are bringing in these children. We take care of them. I don't want to mention names. They are men of God. You, Prof. X, with all your wisdom, with all your intellectual that I see on social media, you speak like you are a prophet. You say things that people do not know that it is true. It is true. You are saying it as if you know it is true. But since you are not there, people are thinking that you are just talking. No, I'm watching your videos. All what you say, it is true. True. Those people you point finger at them, that you talk about them, it is true. It's just that me, I can't talk. I can't be saying anything anyhow. I'm saying this because I swear to Ruth and you. It is only Ruth and you that have opened my mouth after all this year. Before testimony was being adopted, I have been working with these people as a cleaner. When they take us as a cleaner, but you render other services. They carry you, go out. We even travel out. We go to all these various places that these children are. Because we are the one who know what is there. It can only be us that we can go there for anything, for any services, for any work, for anything, as far as the children are being concerned. And because they know that we are under oath, you can't say anything. You can't do anything.
Okay, let's pause here. The testimonial, the confession, it's more than 2 hours long. I don't want to give it all out to you like that. I don't want you to lose the detail and to understand what is being spoken about. If you get time, if you can right now, I want you to play back this video, this conversation. I want you to get some facts from it and some understanding. These things are too spiritual for a carnal mind to understand these things. But this is what is currently happening. This is what is going on in the churches. And the churches are being used to carry out these rituals, to carry out these operations. And it's not the only pastors involved. No. There are other businessmen, serious businessmen that are involved. Politicians who are involved. But the best that they use for these operations are churches. Because churches, they are open their doors to children. And there's less of monitoring and securing the protection and safety of people within a church premises. Because we are all under the impression that everyone that goes to church is supposed to be safe. That has become a blind spot. That has made people vulnerable, kids vulnerable to these operations. Kids have become targets of these syndicates. Kids that go to churches. Hence, in my previous post, I emphasized, mothers, fathers, don't take your children to prophetic ministries. Don't do it. Some of you don't feel the pain yet because it has not yet happened to you. Some of you, this does not make sense to you because it has not yet happened to your own or to your relative. Some of you still think these whole theories are far-fetched, but these things are happening. And testimony is still being held. And they're still processing and trying to think how they can manipulate this new information now. How they can release this boy now. So to my fellow, I can't say my fellow, to the charlatans in Nigeria, to the prophets in Nigeria, why are you silent? Why are you still silent? This is going to expose all of you. These are things that you do. These are things that you have been doing. Politicians are silent. They don't care. It's not like they don't care. They do care. They do care for their own interest as well. They would go the extra mile. Have you ever seen this story of a missing child being published in any media house in Nigeria? Those institutions are well funded by these people who are protecting their interests. And they'll make sure that this story will never make it to mainstream media. It will never make it. They will suppress it in whatever way that they can, because it's going to expose them. Just wait for the next episode. I'll give you another piece of his story. It doesn't matter how long it takes. What is important is for you to understand what's going on. They'll do everything that they can to suppress this truth from coming out. And they'll do everything that they can to get this young man so that he does not spill the beans. But he has already spilled the beans. He has already given me everything. The only thing that is missing is the involvement of the law enforcement agencies, the involvement of responsible authorities to take action. For how long are they going to be silent about this? As if they can't hear, as if they can't see this. For how long are they going to be silent about it? This is where we come in. We do everything we can, anything within our capacity to bring justice to these kids. It's not testimony alone. He's not alone. There are plenty of kids out there. If you're a mother out there, you're watching, and you don't know what happened to your kids, if you don't know what happened to your child, this must be a way for us to find justice for that child. It might not have been from a church, but this is a way for you to also fight this fight. Your child might still be alive. Which brings us back to the first question. What was Jeremiah Omoto's involvement in this operation? Are we accusing Omoto? We are not. This happened at his shrine. He has failed to provide the CCTV footage of how this happened. He has failed to give us an account of how this happened. He has failed to produce Emmanuel Marcus, the man who was the runner for this whole project. One thing we can never run away from, Emmanuel Marcus and Juliet, they were the ones that were the runners for this project. So the big question still remains, were they working for Jeremiah Omoto? If they were not, why hasn't Jeremiah Omoto done anything to help Ruth Matthew or to put Emmanuel Marcus and Juliet to question? These are our biggest questions to Jeremiah Omoto. And other things that makes us suspect Jeremiah Omoto are, the first time he saw this child, he admired the child. He prophesied about the gift and the star upon the child, which makes sense to what the guy said, that they target kids that they see that they have a shine, kids that they see that they have a bright light. They target those ones. Those are the ones they select for their rituals. So with the testimony that Ruth gave about her first encounter with Jeremiah, it's adding up. The dots are connecting. Could that be the reason why Omoto is quiet? Because he is the one behind the main operation. Is it because testimony is the powerhouse of Jeremiah Omoto? These are questions. These are not accusations. These are questions. Pertinent questions. Very crucial questions we should ask because of Jeremiah Omoto's silence. In one of his useless videos that he did, he said, this is dustbin. This is a dustbin story. He does not answer to dustbin stories. You call this a dustbin story, and I promised you and I told you that this story that you call a dustbin is going to lead you in the dustbin. It's going to lead you, Omoto, in the dustbin. People say, no, don't mention name. Jeremiah Omoto, we shall call his name. Today, tomorrow, until we get testimony back. Why hasn't he been held responsible? Why hasn't he been brought to book? Why hasn't he issued a statement concerning how this child disappeared at his church, at his shrine? That's his property, his private property. He's bound by law. He's obligated to let us know what happened. He has failed to give any reasonable explanation as to how all this could have happened. Now they are using the father of this child, Ayo, a clown of a father, to come and talk nonsense. Oh, the person we need to explain is Emmanuel Marcus and Juliet. Because Emmanuel Marcus took Ruth's phone. Emmanuel Marcus took Ruth's bank card. Emmanuel Marcus disappeared with Ruth's property. It's a damage control to leave no trace as to how this child went missing. These are things to ponder, to think about. So process this video. Process this testimonial that we got from this guy. I'll bring you another. Most of you are saying, oh, so our father was not involved. Oh, so this was not involved. Wait. Wait. And wait. Don't draw conclusions yet, but wait. We shall know them for who they really are. What they are doing and what they have been doing. This will not be pleasant information for some of you, sons and daughters of these occultic men. This will not be pleasant information. But you wait. We take it step by step until you understand what's going on. Because the reason why you're paying a blind eye to this case, or the reason why most people start saying that, no, why are you accusing this, is because you don't know the details that I have heard and the details that I have. But for now, we wait. Wait for the next episode of the Enlightenment series. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger. I'm out.